that question. Are you speaking life? If you're saying that I don't have 8 years of experience, you're speaking death over yourself. But if you say, okay, they require 8 years of experience, but I'm going to apply anyway, you're speaking life over yourself. And I tell you all the time, the power of the tongue determines life and death. You have to speak life over yourself, that you are qualified and overqualified for this job and you can do this. So even though it says 8 years of experience, still apply anyway. Just watch these videos and get that knowledge, and they're going to train you anyway the way that they want you to do the job. They want you to have experience leading others with product, service, training, demo, and sales guides, learning, and training materials. I'm going to show you a free place where you can learn that. Utilizing customer relationship management, which is the same as CRM tools. I'm going to show you a video. Now, when it says a BA or a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience, don't let that scare you from applying for the job. Like I always say, the job that I'm currently on requires a BA and a BS, and I do not have that, okay? The only thing I have is a high school diploma, associate's degree, and some certifications. That is the degree that I have. I have a PhD. Why? Because it stands for Praise Him Daily, and that's what I do every single day. But what I'm saying is, even though that you don't have a degree, still apply for the job, because a lot of people are getting these jobs and they do not have a degree. They just have a willing mind, a willing heart, and a willing spirit, and a can-do attitude, and that outweighs a lot of things. Okay, so don't be intimidated and say, "Well, I don't have a bachelor's degree. I don't have that. I can't apply for the job. I'm not qualified." Still apply anyway. You just never know what you can do. Okay, you never know what's going to happen. And when it talks about ability to travel as needed, again, discuss this in the interview. It's a lot of job recs that require you to travel, and there's a lot of people that don't travel. The job that I'm currently on, that I've been on for 11 years, it requires 80% of travel, and I've been on the job for 11 years, and I've never traveled before. Why? Because I brought that to my supervisor's boss, that I'm not going to be able to travel, and I can perform my job well without traveling, and I prove that. So don't get intimidated when it says ability to travel as needed. Discuss that in your interviews, okay? They can work something out. It's a lot of people have to travel, and some people want to travel, some people don't, and it's people that don't travel, and it's okay. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go over the preferred skills requirement, because that means if you have it, that's great. If you don't worry about it. And again, look at this salary, y'all. This is true. This is not a lie. This is not a makeup thing. I do not make up jobs. This is the real deal. I reach out to hiring managers and just to double check. And I say, you're telling me that you can make $162 an hour? And yes, you can make $162 an hour. This is a great opportunity. If this is something you want to do, make sure you go ahead and apply immediately, because these jobs move very quickly. And if that's something you want to do, all you have to do is click right here and apply. Put your first and last name, email, and then check this box and you hit this apply button. Now, again, I want you to watch the videos all the way through, because I'm going to show you how to optimize and tailor your resume to a job. A lot of people are struggling with interviews, so make sure you watch the videos all the way through, because it is value information here. I am going to walk you through how to do this. I'm trying to help somebody. So if you want that help, watch it all the way through. And when you made it through, I want you to say, I got this. Okay. Now, if you come across this job and it's no longer available, explore within the company by clicking the view all jobs, and you can put in remote jobs. You can check the remote jobs, and there are going to be a lot of other remote jobs that's going to appear, and you can just look at those and then go back every 2 days or every week or every 2 weeks and check back if this is a company that you desire to work in your heart. Just go back and check and see if there's a job that you're interested in and apply for these jobs. Now, in the job rec, it talked about telephonic contact center sales. Okay. I just put videos at the end of it. It talks about, it is basically a communication and collaboration system used by business to either manage high volumes of inbound queries or outbound telephone calls, keeping their workforce or agent productive and in control to server their customers. But if you add video at the end of it, there is tons of videos that will appear to educate you. Again, the more you know, the more you grow. Now, also in the job rec, it talk about product, service, training, demo video. Here is how to make product demo videos. There's different videos that you can watch to educate yourself. Again, like I tell you all the time, a lot of people are in these jobs and they don't have a BA or BS. They don't have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. They don't have a PhD. They're just educating themselves on free things like YouTube University. I call it YouTube University because you can go and educate yourself for free. You can go to Google University, searching things and found things and be educated than somebody that spent 4 or 5 years in college. Okay. So take advantage of this. Again, in the rec, I talk about sales guides and I add videos at the end of it. Just go and explore it and do research and learn these things. And it talked about learning and training material videos too as well. Again, Google things. Here are some learning materials that teach you how to do this, what it's all about. So take advantage of it. Again, it talked about customer relationship management video. You can go in here and watch this video right here where it says customer relationship management videos. And there's some more to educate you as well. And I just put in, do people get hired even if they don't have a bachelor's degree? Because a lot of people, oh, they can't hire me or they won't hire me because I don't have a bachelor's degree. And it says right here, while a college education may not be necessary for many jobs, some companies require a minimal a bachelor's degree for their roles because of the skills that most degree holders learn while in school. However, if you have extensive work history, you may be well qualified for many jobs even without a college degree, y'all. It's people getting a job that requires a bachelor's degree or a master's degree without a college degree because they have the experience. You know, the hiring manager got to understand, are you going to hire somebody with a bachelor's degree? Or are you going to hire somebody that have 14 years or more experience than somebody that coming out of school? Because that person that come out of school, they only have that degree, but they don't have the experience. And you got somebody that don't have the degree and they have the experience. So which one would you hire? Okay. So you can get an opportunity even if you don't have a bachelor's degree. And I just want to put that out there because a lot of people say, well, I can't get a job making $162 an hour because I don't have the degree, what they're asking. Yes, you can, because the Bible says I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthen me. Okay. Now, when I say are companies willing to train you, even if you don't have the experience, many companies provide on the job training. This company is Zoom is going to train you anyway, the way that they want you to perform the job, whether if it's for a week or 2 weeks. These companies will train you and they're allowing you to work your way up, recognizing though you probably need to accept a lower paying rate to start. Yes, you got to crawl before you walk. Nevertheless, if they give you an opportunity and you give it all, this should be a minor setback. You just go in and you do your very best. Okay. Now, if this video has been helpful thus far, what I want you to do is hit that like button, as well as I want you to comment. I am the type of YouTuber that I will comment back. A lot of y'all have been on the other
Introducing Revoicer, the AI-powered text-to-voice software that's revolutionizing the voiceover.
YouTube just got easier. You guessed it, with this new update, YouTube are rolling out some new AI tools that are designed to help creators through every step of the production process. From generating new video ideas to simplifying the editing process, these are honestly game-changing. So if you want to know how to take your content perhaps further than ever before, keep watching. YouTube has always been a tool where creators from all different niches can push the boundaries of creativity. But as you may know, that's no easy task. Constantly coming up with new ideas can be very taxing and very challenging. That's where this first new AI tool comes in. You'll be able to find the inspiration tool in YouTube Studio. This tool is going to suggest to you topics and give you outlines based on actual data and analytics. If used right, this tool can help you reduce a lot of the time you might spend brainstorming and researching. But as we know, audio is half of video. And YouTube is about to give you the assist big time on that front. Not only are you about to get AI video recommendations from YouTube on specific topics, but YouTube is also going to help you pick the right music from their own music library to add to those videos. Not only are these carefully curated tracks going to be free, but they will be also fully compliant with all copyright regulations. So now creators can find the perfect music for their videos without worrying about copyright claims. So whether you're creating a high-energy vlog or a heartfelt documentary, you can easily find music that suits your content. And if you can't, apparently they'll recommend it for you. While we're on the subject of sound, YouTube is doing even more work to help creators like you reach a wider audience. Aloud is a cutting-edge AI-powered dubbing tool set to launch next year. It's going to allow creators the ability to seamlessly translate their videos into various languages. Again, available right in YouTube Studio. But this next new feature is one I'm very cautiously optimistic about, if not a little bit scared. It looks like AI-powered video creation is now going to be easier than ever. With Dream Screen, making visually stunning shorts backgrounds is as easy as just typing a phrase into a box. Want a serene beach with a sunset? Simply enter calm waves at dusk. Need an epic space scene? Try galaxies and cosmos. YouTube's advanced AI will then turn your words into animated video that fits the vibe of what you typed in. And from there, you can seamlessly incorporate this video into your shorts. And if your head is still spinning, then I'm sorry, but buckle up, because there's another massive update as well. YouTube's launching a new app. Well, there's actually news that it's already launched in like 8 other countries, but hey, it's going global. It's going to let you easily split, trim, and rearrange clips so you can basically edit your video within the app. It's going to also work for both long-form videos and shorts. Additionally, YouTube Create has tools that will also help you improve your video's audio quality. You can reduce background noise so your voice is crystal clear. No more dealing with city noises or echoey rooms. The AI can detect beats of songs and then time your clips to synchronize with the music. If you're looking to make nice, professional, high-quality videos, this is going to save you a lot of time. The purpose of this app is to cut down on the tedium of editing videos, and thus makes it more accessible for so many more people to get into content creating. The future of AI on YouTube is exciting and interesting, but how far could it go to eventually replace human creators? This video here determines whether or not an AI can run an entire channel by itself. We really put AI to the test here, and if we're being honest, it's probably one of the best videos we've ever made, so go check it out.
Spike needs to launch his bold new delivery business online without costs going sky high. He'll need this
Before you try to access the dark web, let me show you how to do it safely and securely. I'll show you 3 ways. Starting with the most insecure way, the way you're about to try, you're gonna get hacked. And then I'll end with the most secure way, like you're invisible, they can't touch you. You're Edward Snowden. Snowden level security. Kind of a cool name for a company, actually. Dibs. Before we go to number 1 and I'll let you loose, you gotta know, the dark web isn't all bad. It was actually created with good intentions to give people anonymity and a platform for free expression. And it has a ton of legitimate uses. So think journalists trying to communicate with people who want to stay hidden, like Edward Snowden. Or people trying to keep their activities hidden from their government, like Edward Snowden. Or if you want to play chess without anybody watching, yes, you can play chess on the dark web like Edward Snowden, I think. He plays chess, right? But seriously, the dark web is kind of a good place, with legitimate websites like the New York Times, BBC, CIA, Facebook. It's all there ready to be accessed securely, and it's awesome, but what makes it awesome also makes it kind of terrifying, because it's the perfect breeding ground for all types of illegal activity. I mean, think about it. If you're a criminal, it's perfect. Anonymity with no oversight. It's like the purge all the time, except in the internet. And by the way, did you know that your stuff is for sale in this place? The dark web, your emails, your passwords, your logins, it's there. Criminals are buying it as we speak. How do I know that? You can use what I use to find out and keep myself safe. Dashlane, the sponsor of this video. Built into Dashlane's amazing password management is dark web monitoring. They keep an eye on the dark web for me and they tell me if my stuff is hacked. And using Dashlane, I can generate a super secure, never before seen password that's not used by any other service right? And I store that sucker safely inside Dashlane. In fact, I use Dashlane for all my passwords, personal and for my YouTube business. Now, I'm a target, and so are my employees, so I forced them to use Dashlane. And through the management console, I can see if their passwords are healthy. Every big hack usually happens with people just kind of messing up, just being human and making a little boo-boo here and there. I don't know why I said boo-boo. But with Dashlane, I've got my eyes on all the stuff. So if you want to make sure that your stuff isn't on the dark web and that your passwords are secure, check out Dashlane. I got a link below. If you use my code NetworkChuck50, you'll get 50% off. And thanks again to Dashlane for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. Okay, number 1 on our list and the most insecure way to access the dark web. Seriously, don't do this. But I know some of you are still gonna do it, I know. All you'll need to do is download something called the Tor browser. Just like you might download Chrome or Firefox to access the regular internet, known as the ClearNet, you'll download the Tor browser to access the dark web. Now the Tor browser, which stands for the Onion router, is what you'll use to access the Onion network. I know you didn't think the dark web would involve so many onions. In fact, it's kind of all onions, sitting on top of the internet. And the onions are what make it dark. Not that onions are bad, they just have layers. Now we won't go too deep, we're not onion farming here, but just know that part of what makes it secure and why we need a special browser is that like the layers of an onion, data sent on the dark web is sent to 3 onion routers. I told you there's a ton of onions before they reach their destination, each applying a layer of encryption or security. This helps keep your data anonymous and safe. And there is a lot more magic to it. If you do want to become an onion farmer, I've got a video here where I go a lot deeper and I show you how to actually put your own website on the dark web. You can do that. So if you want to imagine the dark web as like a little less scary, just imagine a bunch of onions connected together, because that's kind of what it is. Now watch how easy it is to get on the dark web. I'm going to open my web browser and go out to the torproject.org. And then I'll click on download Tor browser and download from my operating system. You probably noticed iOS missing. I'll show you how to do that here in a bit. I'll run the installer here for Windows, installing it on my desktop. You can choose anywhere you want and click finish. And now to connect to the dark web, all we have to do is click one button. You ready? About to get real. Connect. And here we go. It's creating a connection, connecting to 3 onions, and we're on the dark web. Spooky, huh? Kind of not really, right? Like, we're here. What do we do now? Like, go to Google? Like, can we just do that? And in case you're wondering, yes, you can access regular websites on the ClearNet with the Tor browser. You can even see our circuit right here. Click on that little circuit. It shows you our 3 onions we're going through. Got a German, Austrian, and Dutch onion. And just to hit home our anonymity, keep an eye on that Dutch IP address. What's my IP address? It's actually IPv6. Fun. If we look there, that matches up. But still, where's the dark web? I thought we were here. That's kind of the point. The dark web is dark. You get there and you're like this. Here, let me do that for you. You're like this. That's the dark web. It's a bunch of websites interconnected by these onions, and nothing can really find them, not even Google. And Google sees everything, including you right now wearing a black hoodie eating Funyuns with Mountain Dew. It sees you. But even the Google spiders can't crawl these websites. They hate onions. And like I said, the dark web is filled with onions. Even every website you visit is an onion. Even ends with onion. Let's try one site. We'll go to the official dark web version of the New York Times. Don't get excited, it's the same website. It's just on the dark web. I'll paste that here in my browser. Bam, just like this. Notice, it ends in .onion instead of .com or .net or .tech or .coffee. NetworkChuck.coffee. That's on the ClearNet. And clearly you need some coffee. And if I hit enter, I'm now navigating to a dark web website. It just happens to be the New York Times. Now notice the website's kind of like, you can't just like remember that. That's crazy, right? It's a randomly generated string, and that will be every dark web website. And if you're a big deal, like the New York Times, you might get your name like this prepended through some fancy measures. But it's always gonna be something like this, ending in .onion. That's how you know you're on a dark web website. But the point I want to hit home here is that you would never, ever be able to figure out how to get to this website unless the New York Times gave you their onion address. There's no way to search it or index it, which is how our current internet works. That's how we can discover things, through search engines. This doesn't happen. It's dark, no flashlights. But you might see some candles along the way. There are some really cool ones called the Hidden Wiki. This is a dark web website that has a list of other dark web websites. There's also a search engine on the dark web called Amia, I'm not sure how to say it. And they'll search known dark web websites, but that's it. They can't index, they can't crawl. Now it's at this point that you might want to try and go around and find some interesting stuff, because you're curious. No, right now this is not secure. We downloaded the Tor browser, launched it with default settings. It's not great. So let's move on to level 2, the second most secure way to access the dark web. And this is definitely more secure, but not the most secure. Like, I probably still wouldn't do this if I were like searching for stuff. You know what I mean? This will involve the same thing as level 1, but adding an extra layer of protection, kind of like an onion. We'll still have our same Tor browser. We'll need that. But before we connect to the Tor network, we'll first connect to VPN. And we'll also change some settings in our Tor browser that are highly recommended. Because you don't want to be sitting there hanging out in the dark web and all of a sudden you get a phone call or a knock at the door and you're like, what did I do? True story from someone. Coffee break.
I'm using a tool called Minia.
This website is literally the only one that I've ever recommended.
If I didn't have Minia, I probably wouldn't be able to find it.
I've also been using this website called Minia.
So back here at my Tor browser, I'm going to disconnect from the Tor network, and I'll just close my Tor browser. Now I'll set up VPN real quick. I'm using Nord. You can use whatever you want, as long as you trust it. And then I'll connect to VPN and then launch my Tor browser. Now, why do this? Why use VPN before we connect to the Tor network? Aren't we already protected? Aren't we already anonymous? Yes, to a point. You see, right here is what we're worried about. When you try to connect to the Tor network, you know who can see that you're connecting to the Tor network? Your ISP, your internet provider. They see that. They recognize that network. In fact, it's easily detectable. I actually have Tor blocked on my business network here because I don't know what my employees are doing, and I had to unblock it for this video. Now also, that first onion router you connect to, I'm gonna draw an onion, looks like an apple. Let me give it some layers here. It looks like someone bit an apple. Anyways, that first onion router you connect to, they can see your IP address. They know you. Now, further down the line, you're protected, you're anonymous. But it's those little weak areas that may not seem like a big deal. Those are the ways that people usually get found out and tracked on the dark web. You've heard of criminals getting arrested for dark web marketplace stuff. That's how it happens. It's these little leaks. It's how the FBI and the CIA can track these things. But if we use our VPN, we're encrypted here, our IP address is hidden here first before we connect to the Tor network, adding that extra layer of security. And also by default, our connection isn't that safe. Let's change some settings real quick. Part of our level 2 security. Level 3 is gonna blow your mind, trust me, but this is pretty good. So we'll click on configure connection. And over here we have privacy and security. Let's go ahead and click on that. From here, we'll browse down until we see security and security level. Right now we're on standard, which means all browser and website features are enabled. You don't want that in the dark web. There's a lot of things that hackers can do using all those features, and you don't want those things enabled. So we're gonna go to the safest option. We're gonna change our choice here. And here, things like JavaScript are disabled by default on all websites. And really, with that one change, that's pretty much all you have to worry about for most things. With level 2, you're safe, but not completely safe.